All right, so let's show Pikachu the black cards in this really small blue, black, green Infect cube, little cube, mini cube. Spread these cards out, and then, oh, sorry, Pikachu. Maybe put you right here. That you can still see it. Okay. So here's Contagious Nin. It's a 3 Nim. It's a 3/2/2 with Infect. And I went off the viewer there. Sorry about that. I'm still getting the hang of my little setup. Of course, this one is a 2/1/1 flyer with Infect. It's really good that it flies. Okay. This is Flencermite. It's a 2/1/1 with Infect and Lifelink. Black Sun's Zenith. Put X -1, -1 counters on each creature. Shuffle Black Sun Zenith into its owner's library. That cycle is really good. I think all the cards in that cycle are really good. I pulled a white Sun's Zenith after I made this cube. I've got it somewhere. I even think it's foil. Read the Bones from Theros, 3-drop, sorcery, scry 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Love this card. Played the living daylights out of it when it was in standard. Despise. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. I don't think I have any planeswalkers in this cube. Maybe I should add a few just to make this card a bit of a more fun play. Again, this was really the first draft. I just put a bunch of cards in here that I thought fit and then could be edited a little later. Another one of your large Infect creatures that would have never been used in a competitive deck. A 5/5 with Infect. Whenever a source deals damage to this card, that source's controller gets a poison counter. That's pretty good. They better kill it once, because then if they try to kill it in 2 turns or in 2 actions, they'll get 2 counters. 3/2/1 Infect. When it enters the battlefield, each player gets a poison counter. So it gives you a poison counter, but it gives your opponent a poison counter. Imagine, you got your opponent down to 9 and you may be down to 7. You can win the game just by this card entering the battlefield. That's nice. Flesh Eater Imp. 4/2/2 flyer with Infect. You sacrifice a creature and this card gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Not bad. In casual. A foil. I remember pulling this card. Very nice. Massacre Worm. 6-drop 6/5. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, that player loses 2 life. This is really good. I mean, it's more on the making your opponent lose a lot of life. It's not so much on the Infect side. So it may be a creature that's really good, but not necessarily that great in this specific cube. Minicube. Hand of the Praetors. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. 4/3/2 with Infect. Other creatures you control with Infect get +1/+1. So it's a nice late game lord. Whenever you cast a creature spell with Infect, target player gets a poison counter. That's really, really nice in a casual setting, and I just love that artwork. Look at that. Whoa. And who did it? Izzy. Thank you, Izzy. Fantastic artwork. I'm assuming you're a boy. I'm not sure. Oh, here's another one. We got this one already. This card is from one of the precons. I remember it. It's a 4/4/5 with Infect. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get a poison counter. So it's a clock, but it's a 1 counter clock against you. So you better hit with it, or it'll kill you. If it gets blocked for enough turns, you'll just be taking a poison counter every turn, and your opponent is totally doing fine. Toxic Nim, Infect, and you can regenerate it for 1. It's a 6/4/1, so it can be killed off very easily, but it hits for 4. Okay. Caustic Hound, and it's a 6/4/4, and when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each player loses 4 life. Not sure it's a great inclusion here because it doesn't have Infect. So it could be one of these that are not a good fit and get taken out at some point when I get around to revising the contents here. Okay, so Scourge Servant. I was reading Dementia Bat, but I really wanted to talk about Scourge Servant, and it's a 5/3/3 with Infect. And that's all it is. I'm getting a little sunlight, which can disturb my videos. So let's see if I can make it in this particular setup. This is one of the things that I really want to get an artificial light setup for. So when I get hit with a lot of natural light, I can avoid it. Dementia Bat, 5/2/2 with flying. You pay 5, you sacrifice it, and target player discards 2 cards. It's a good card, especially in limited, but I'm not sure it's a really good fit here. This guy is definitely a good fit in here. Black Cleave Goblin is a 4/2/1 Infect Haste. Great, and I've got to place it. I love this card. Look at that artwork. Another really cool. So cool. Who did that? Niels Ham. Okay, so we've got a playset of Tainted Strike, and one of them is foil. For 1 drop, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains Infect until end of turn. Nice. We've got 1 Surgical Extraction, which you can pay for 2 life and no mana, so you can put it in any deck. Choose a target card in a graveyard other than a basic land card, and then you take it out of the game for your opponent, basically, right? Because you search the graveyard, the hand, the library, and you exile them, and then that player shuffles. Okay. Virulent Wound, put a -1/-1 counter. It's an instant on target creature, and when it's put into a graveyard, its controller gets a poison counter for 1. That's nice. Nice casual Infect card. Go for the Throat. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Not that great in Scars of Mirrodin because a lot of people were playing artifacts, and even in this cube, but anyways, I have it in here. I may take it out. Grasp of Darkness for 2. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. Glistening Oil for 2. Enchant that creature and it's get Infect. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put a -1/-1 counter on enchanted creature. And when this is put into the graveyard, return it to your hand. That's good. It's got a little clock. Phyrexes, 4 of them. 2-drop, enchant creature, and it has Infect. Very simple. Really simple. Okay, and finally, since the sun is hurting me away, Relic putrescence or putrescence. Enchant artifact. You can only use it on an artifact, and now the artifact becomes tapped. Its controller gets a poison counter.